a block. So we're going to go ahead and rest our hands on our lap. Hey, Emily. Take a few moments, close your eyes, and allow your spine to lengthen. So we're going to start off focusing on the seat, making sure that our buttocks are really firmly rooting down into the earth of the block beneath us. Our outer thighs are pressing down, outer calves. Our hands are resting completely on our laps, and let the shoulders all the way down the length of the arms and into the hands drop. And with your eyes closed, start to go into the sensations in your body. So noticing where, if anywhere, there's tension or tightness. And not trying to change that, just simply observing it. So for me, a little bit of tension in between the shoulder blades and a little bit of tension in the low back. So not attaching to it, I'm just going, okay, that's there, all right. And then what I want you to do, once you've identified where in your body you're feeling sensation, then go to your breath. Noticing each in-breath expand your abdomen, rib cage, and chest. And each out-breath create a subtle recoiling inward of the chest, rib cage, and abdomen. And as you breathe, noticing how the body responds to breath in stillness, this mindful breath in stillness. Sometimes the shoulders will tense up, and it's just exhale, let them drop. And maybe start to feel the sensation, depending on where you are practicing. Maybe you feel the air conditioning, or maybe you're feeling the sun, the warmth. Just kind of explore the sensations on your skin. And then we're going to slowly transition the breath to Jai Pranayama, or breath of fire, that warming breath. So we're going to contract the back of the throat a little bit, like we're about to make a hissing sound. And we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose with the throat contracted. You'll hear your breath a little louder in your ears. It'll kind of sound like ocean waves. Good. Now on the next in-breath, let's allow the arms to slowly rise up. Spiral your triceps inward. Connect your palms and pinkies overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands in prayer at the center of your chest. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Spiral your triceps inward. Connect the palms and the pinkies overhead. And then exhale, hands in prayer at center. 1 more time like this. Inhale, slowly sweeping your arms up. Spiraling your triceps inward, connecting your palms and pinkies overhead. Let's exhale, hands in prayer at center once again. Now gently release the hands onto your lap. Open your eyes. Take a moment to roll the shoulders back and sit up tall, keeping the chin parallel to the earth. If you're on a block and you want to come off of it, feel free. Just keep it nearby in case you need it. I'm going to go ahead and root the seat. Let's bring the fingertips down to the mat. Wrists are going to be shoulder width apart. You're going to inhale, draw your tailbone back, lift your chest. And as you exhale, hinge forward and fold. Lengthen your spine. Draw the shoulders back. Keep the buttocks rooted, and maybe your forehead touches down toward or to the mat. Keep lengthening the back of the neck. Draw the shoulders back and feel your spine find space. Feel the lower back broaden, the seat connect down. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. Good, now we're going to inhale, slowly bring the spine back up. Draw the shoulders down. Let's exhale, rotate the upper body to the right, left arm to the outside of the right thigh, right arm is behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. Exhaling, adding a gentle twist. Let's do that 2 more times. Every in-breath, elongate, drop the shoulders. Every out-breath, twist. 1 more breath like this. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, rotate. Then on the next in-breath, slowly bring the spine back to center. And then we'll exhale, rotate the upper body to the left, right arm to the outside of the left thigh, left arm is behind you. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale, add a gentle twist. It only go as far as makes sense for you. Keep drawing the right hip back. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more breath. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, rotate. Now let's inhale, bring the spine back home to center. Let's go ahead, switch the cross of the legs so the opposite leg is in front or on top. Really root the seat. Draw the shoulders back. Let's bring the right fingertips to the mat. Externally rotate the right shoulder, drive back slightly. Root your left seat. Inhale, the left arm rises. Exhale, up and over to your right. So you can stay on fingertips with the forearm up, or if you can keep your left buttock down, bring the forearm down. Draw your left shoulder back a little bit and draw your cheekbone up toward the left bicep as you look up. Press the left hand or forearm into the earth, almost like you were doing a plank. One more breath, feeling that stretch along the left side of the body. Now we're going to inhale, sit on up. Exhale, release the left arm down. Externally rotate the shoulder. You can start on fingertips, root the right seat. Inhale, the right arm rises, plug the shoulder in. Exhale, up and over to your left. You can stay on your hand, fingertips, palm, or come down to your forearm elbow if you can keep the right seat rooted. Draw that right shoulder back, draw the cheekbone up toward the right bicep, press into the left forearm, and feel a stretch along the right side of your body. So really often we're tight in those obliques and in our intercostal muscles of the ribs. This is nice to release that. Now we're gonna inhale, come on up. Exhale, release the arms. So now let's go ahead and come up to all fours. So we're gonna go ahead, place the wrists directly underneath the shoulders and the knees directly underneath your hips. Spread your fingers out wide, pull the belly in, draw the shoulders back and lengthen your neck. Make sure your toes are tucked. We're gonna exhale, tilt the tailbone between the thighs, hollow out the abdomen, round the thoracic spine, rock back slightly in cat. Then inhale, point your toes, lengthen your tailbone, unfurl your spine, shoulders back, chest forward, cow. Again, exhale, tuck your toes, hollow out your belly, round your thoracic spine, rock back slightly, looking inward in cat. And then inhale, point the toes, lengthen the tailbone, unfurl the spine, cow. One more time. Exhale, tuck toes, hollow out your belly, round your thoracic spine, rocking back slightly in cat. And now inhale, point the toes, lengthen the tailbone, unfurl the spine, shoulders back, chest forward, cow. Now return to neutral spine with your toes tucked. Keep the left knee underneath the left hip. Let's inhale, extend the right leg straight back, flex your right foot and square your right hip forward. Drive the right heel away from you. Draw the right shoulder back and down. Now inhale, reach the left arm forward, plug the left shoulder in, find your center. So find that diagonal line as well from the right shoulder to the left hip. Now let's go ahead, exhale, pull the belly in, round the spine, bring the left elbow to the right knee, and then inhale, lengthen. Again, exhale, left elbow to the right knee, moving slowly. Inhale, lengthen. One more time like this. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen and hold. Breathe, draw that right shoulder back. Now as you exhale, bring the left hand down. Take a moment, inhale, open up that right hip, tuck the left seat underneath you. Keep both hands down. Now we're gonna drop that right foot down to the ground, heel turns out, toes turn in, tuck the left seat under, then inhale, open the right arm up. Look up toward the right wrist, lengthen through both sides of the waist, connect to your breath. Look up toward that right wrist, breathe. Now stay here. You can keep the foot down or go ahead and find your balance, float the right leg up. Breathe, good. Keep looking up toward that right wrist. Stay with me here, start to fire into the obliques, warming up the belly. Keep reaching through the right heel. Now we'll deconstruct the pose. We'll go ahead, exhale, pull the belly in, sweep the right hand back down, wrist underneath the shoulder. And on the exhale, bring the right hip forward and bring the right knee down. Realign yourselves here, draw the shoulders back. As you're ready, right knee underneath the right hip, inhale, the left leg rises, push away from gravity, flex your left foot, even weight in both hands. Good. Square that left hip forward. Now from here, inhale, the right arm rises, plug the right shoulder in, draw the left shoulder back and away from your ear. Find your diagonal line, left shoulder to right hip point. Now we're gonna exhale, hollow out the belly, round the spine, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen, go really slow. Exhale, hollow out the belly, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Good, one more time. Exhale, hollow out the belly around the spine, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen and hold. Good, now we're gonna keep the left leg up. We exhale, bring the right wrist underneath the right shoulder. Inhale, open up the left hip, tuck the right seat underneath you. Keep flexing your left foot. Breathe. Now we're gonna exhale, bring the left foot down, heel turns out, toes turn in. Then inhale, reach your left arm up, keep tucking the right seat underneath you. Lengthen through both sides of the waist, push away from the right side. Now you can stay here or go ahead and float your left leg up, find your balance, start to fire into the obliques. Keep tucking the right seat underneath you and lengthen both sides of your waist. Good, looking up at that left wrist, one more breath. Then we'll deconstruct the pose. Exhale the left arm down, square the chest. Next exhale, square the hips and bring the right knee down. Readjust your hands, readjust your hips, tuck your toes. Exhale, hips up and heels back into downward facing dog pose. Setting your seat back and up. Draw the chest toward the thighs, allow the collarbones to broaden and connect to your breath. So really spread your fingers out, root down into the thumb, pointer, and pinky fingers. Draw the shoulders back, feel like you're gliding them into back pockets. Then look back at your feet, send your chest and your gaze in the direction of your feet. As your chest goes to your feet or toward your feet, lift your hips up high, yet sink your heels. Now your heels don't have to touch the ground, but you want to keep the action of the heels dropping as the buttocks lifts. Breathe. Keep shifting the weight back so you're pushing the mat away from you with your hands, dragging it back with your feet. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings. Pull the belly button in and up. Good, now we're gonna press both hands into the mat, step into the left foot, inhale, the right leg rises straight behind you, flexing your right foot, keep aiming the toes down and squaring your hip points so both hip points aim toward the mat. Breathe. Now we're gonna exhale, bring the right knee in toward our chest, pull the belly button in, round the spine, start to rock forward, look between your thumbs, pause with a rounded spine. Hug that right knee way up into your chest and then step the right foot forward, toes in line with the fingers. Draw the right hip back and the left hip forward. Inhale, the spine rises up and the arms are gonna rise up to a high lunge. Plug your shoulders in, lift your chest and lengthen your spine. So we're gonna look straight ahead. You're gonna keep your arms up overhead, adjust your clothing. I feel like I'm always adjusting my clothing. Drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward, press strongly into the ball of the back foot. Good, now from here, we're gonna exhale, sweep the arms back, hinge a quarter of the way forward, turn your palms up. Good, hold right there. Keep drawing that right hip back. Now without using your hands, inhale, straighten out the right leg, paralleling your chest to the mat, pull your belly in, right hip back. Good. Now as you exhale, bend the right knee coming into that lunge, and then inhale, sweep the spine and the arms up, add a spinal extension, lift your chest, look up toward the ceiling, press strongly into the back foot. Now we exhale, sweep the arms around and down, frame the front foot. Inhale, right leg sweeps back to plank, push away from gravity, pull your belly in, make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders, extend out through your heels, make sure you're actively pushing the mat away from you with your hands. Then exhale, rock forward, tippy toes, you can keep your knees down. You're gonna go chaturanga, shoulders are back, elbows are in, neck is long, hover off the mat, elbows are 90 degrees. Then inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders in your cobra. Draw the shoulders back. So in cobra, you can be in a small cobra, a medium cobra, hugging your elbows in, or it's a full open cobra. Then exhale, tuck your toes, hips are up and heels are back, downward facing dog. Seat is back and up, chest is toward your thighs, collarbones broaden, connect to your breath. Make sure you are in control of your breath. Root the right foot into the earth. Inhale, the left leg rises behind you, three-legged dog, squaring your hips. Stretch into the right hamstring. Look back at that right leg. Then exhale, pull the knee in towards your chest. Lift up onto the ball of the right foot. Start to rock forward, pulling your belly in. Look between your thumbs. Hug that left knee in. Then exhale, step the left foot forward, toes in line with the fingers. Draw the left hip back and the right hip forward. Inhaling, spine and arms rise up to high lunge. Lift your chest, Shin parallel to the mat, straight back leg. You're on the ball of the back foot. Breathe. Now we're going to exhale, hinge a quarter of the way forward, sweep your arms back to frame your hips. Think of your occipital ridge at the back of your head lining up with your right heel. Track the left knee in line with the left hip point. Now we're going to inhale, straighten out the left leg, parallel your spine to the mat. Avoid locking out the left knee. You can lift your left toes up and that will prevent the knee from locking. Now stay low, exhale, bend the left knee. Inhale, spine and arms rise up into a spinal extension. Chest lifts up toward the ceiling, looking up. Good, now exhale, hands frame the front foot. Inhale, right, left leg back to plank, push away from gravity here. Actively engage. Exhale, rock forward to your tippy toes, knees up or down, slow lower chaturanga, shoulders back, elbows in, neck is long. Then inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders in your cobra. Hug your inner elbows in, open up through the chest, draw your skull bone back. Exhale, tuck toes, hips up, heels back, downward facing dog. Once again, be in control of your breath. Send the seat back and up, draw the chest toward the thighs. Push the mat away from you with your hands and drag the mat back with your feet. So we're gonna add on a little bit. Root the left foot into the ground. Inhale, the right leg rises up, hips are square. Keep lifting that right leg up nice and high, even weight in both hands. Now exhale, open up the right hip, spiraling the left rib cage to the right. Look underneath your right underarm. Now bend your right knee, flex your right foot like you're pushing an imaginary lever to the left. Keep tucking the left seat underneath you, kind of like we practiced on all fours, only a little deeper. Now exhale, square the hips, bring the right knee in towards your chest, round your spine as you rock forward, and then step the right foot forward, toes in line with the fingers. Let's drop and ground the back heel. Front heel lines up with the back arch. Let's inhale up to a warrior two, opening the arms out to T. So in your warrior two, you want to make sure that your back heel is turned out, toes are turning in. You're bending your right knee deeply. You're going to take your eyes, look to the inside of your right knee. Make sure you can see your right big toe. If not, track the right knee a little bit to the right. Your hips and chest are facing to the left side of your mat. Your eyes are looking over your right middle finger. Drop the shoulders, check in that both arms are in the same plane. Wrap the right seat underneath and get a little lower. Now from here, we're going to exhale, lean a little forward, right forearm to the right thigh, draw the right shoulder back. Inhale, the left arm rises up and goes over toward your face. The booty is going to try to stick out. I want you to tuck it back in. Rotating with each exhalation a little deeper to the left. Keep stepping into that back foot. One more breath cycle. Feel the right buttock engage. Keep the right knee bent deeply and tracking right. We're going to inhale, sweep the left arm back as the right arm goes up. Open your rib cage up. Left hand to your left calf. Right arm up and over, look up. Feel a big stretch. Keep bending your right knee, track it to the right. Connect to your breath here. Now we're going to keep bending the right knee. Inhale, warrior two, lifting your chest. Now we're going to inhale, straighten out the right leg, cant the left hip to the left. Exhale, reach your right arm forward. And you either land right hand to the shin, top of the right foot, or outside of the right foot as you reach your left arm up to triangle pose. Straighten out that right leg without locking the knee. What's going to prevent the knee lockout is lifting the toes. Keep wrapping that right seat underneath you. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did in Warrior Two, but this time with the leg straight. We're going to go to tilted triangle. We're going to inhale, sweep the left arm back and down as the right arm comes up. Reaching those right fingertips back, keep the right leg straight. Keep tucking the right seat underneath you. Fan that right rib cage out. One more breath. Now we're going to exhale, bend the right knee, stay low. Inhale, warrior two, lift your chest. Now exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot, come onto the ball of the back foot. Inhale, plank. Exhale, rock forward, tippy toes, slow lower chaturanga, shoulders back, elbows in, neck is long. Inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders in your cobra. Connect to your breath, lift your chest. Nice, guys. Exhale, hips up, heels back, downward facing dog. Seat is back and up, chest is toward your thighs. Every time you come into down dog, try to get more space out of the back of your body. So you're strengthening the front of your body and your arms, but stretching the back of the body and the legs here, the back of the legs. All right, same sequence, other side. Right foot roots. Inhale, the left leg rises behind you. Exhale, open up the left hip, spiraling the right rib cage to the left. Lift the left leg up, tuck the right seat underneath you. Now bend your left knee, flex your left foot, and push an imaginary lever to the right. Keep tucking that right seat underneath you. Now we're going to exhale, square the hips, pull the left knee in towards your chest, start to rock forward as your mid-back rounds. Then exhale, big step forward, left foot, drop and ground the back heel, front heel, back heel alignment. Inhale, cartwheel your arms up. Warrior two. Keep lifting your chest. So your hips and pelvis and your chest are facing toward the right side of your mat. Your right heel turns out. Your left toes turn forward or face forward. Make sure that you can see the left big toe. If not, track your knee to the left. Drop the shoulders. Check that both arms are in the same plane. Wrap the left seat underneath you. Look over your left middle finger. Good. Press strongly into the right leg. Now exhale, lean forward, left forearm to your left thigh. Inhale, the right arm rises up and over. Look up toward your right bicep. Keep wrapping that left seat underneath you. Feel a nice stretch along the right side of the body. Keep the left knee bent, keep the hips low. We're gonna go into exalted warrior. Inhale the right arm down the right leg as the left arm rises. Fan the left rib cage out. Keep bending that left knee, track it out to the left. Breathe. Good, nice adjustment, Jennifer. I saw the knee turn out. Good. Now we're gonna inhale, warrior two. Good, now inhale, straighten out that left leg, cant the right hip out. Exhale, reach, 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 reach forward. Left hand to the shin, top of the foot or the outside of the left foot. Reach your right arm up, lengthen through both sides of the waist, look up toward that right wrist. Elongate your spine here. Avoid letting the left knee lock out so you can lift those left toes up if you need to. If you're really hypermobile, go do that. Now, we're gonna tilt that triangle. So we're gonna keep the left leg straight. Inhale, right arm down the right leg, left arm rises, look up. Fan that left rib cage out, big stretch. Keep tucking that left seat underneath you. Legs are gonna get shaky, that's normal. Good, now we're gonna stay with the arms as is. Bend your left knee. Now inhale, warrior two, open those arms out to T. Good, now exhale, cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, left leg back to plank. Push away from gravity, lengthen the spine. Exhale, rock forward, tippy toes, slow lower chaturanga to hover, shoulders back, elbows in, neck is long. Inhale, thread the heart between the shoulders in your cobra. Draw the shoulders back, open up through the chest, skull bone back, find your breath. Let's hold here for 2 more breath cycles. Anchor the quads, stretch out your chest, work into the back. Tuck toes, hips up, heels back, downward, facing dog pose. Seat is back and up, chest is toward the thighs, collarbones broaden, connect to your breath. Try to find more space in the back body. Maybe nod your head no a couple times, release the neck here. And then carefully nod your head yes. Breathe. Then bring your head back to center and neutral. We're gonna inhale, lift up on the balls of both feet. Exhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. You're either gonna take a walk, a quick step, or a hop to the top of your mat. Feet hip width, toes are in line with one another. You're in your forward fold. Hands down to the ground. If you can't touch the ground, use blocks or place your hands on your calves. Let's get those hips directly over the ankles. Let your head hang. Feel the stretch along the back line. Try to get the rib cage toward or to the thighs. Now inhale, spine halfway up, either hands to your shins. Make sure your back is so-called flat, or if you have long arms, fingertips to the earth. Draw the buttocks back, chest forward, shoulders back. Feel the back of the leg stretch. Then exhale, hinge and fold. Soften the backs of the knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive to a standing back bend. Quads forward, tailbone forward, chest open, weight in the heels, knees soft. Now exhale, hinge from the hips and swan dive forward. Once again, hands on either side of the feet. Inhale, spine halfway up, hands to shins or to the earth. Exhale, fold. Let your fingertips frame both legs. Then exhale, step the left leg back to low lunge. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward. Inhaling, arms rise up to high lunge. We're back on the ball of the back foot. Sink into your hips, lift your chest. Now exhale, hands in prayer. Pull your belly in. Keep your spine upright. Let's exhale, rotate the upper body to the right with the hands in prayer. Squeeze those inner thighs toward one another. You can stay here, or if you want to go deeper, take your right hand to your right quad, rotate a little more to the right, and exhale, take your left tricep to the outside of the right thigh. Bring your palms together in prayer and get low. Breathe, look over that left shoulder. About 3 more breath cycles. Every exhalation, you're trying to twist a little deeper. So really getting into those obliques. Good, 1 more breath cycle. Now we're gonna stay in the twist. If we went down, we're gonna inhale, come up to that twisted lunge. Next in breath, spine comes back to center, arms rise up. Now exhale, hinge from the hips, hands frame the front foot. Stay here, fingertips to the mat. Inhale, straighten out your right leg. Lengthen your spine. Now exhale, bend your left knee, bring the left knee directly underneath the left hip. Keep the knee off the ground. Draw the right hip back and the left hip forward. Now we're gonna exhale, bend the right knee, rock forward, straighten out the back leg. We'll do that again. Inhale, straighten out the right leg, both legs are straight. Now exhale, bend the left knee, drop the knee under the hip and draw the right hip back. Stretch into that right hamstring, make the left quad work. Now exhale, bend the right knee, straighten out the left leg. 1 more time. Inhale, straighten out the right leg, sink the left heel. Now exhale, bend your left knee directly underneath the left hip, draw that right hip back. So my leg, right leg is starting to shake. That's normal. Exhale, bend your right knee, straighten out the back leg. Plant your palms, inhale, plank. Let's hold our plank. Extend out through the heels, connect to your breath, push away from gravity. Step your right hand slightly forward and to the right. You're gonna go ahead, roll onto the outer edge of right foot. Stack your shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, and feet as you reach your left arm up. You can always drop the right knee to the ground like we did in the beginning of class and hold here. Look up towards your left wrist, lengthen both sides of the waist, draw the shoulders away from the ears. If you're feeling like you're up to it, bring the left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh, left knee up toward the ceiling. So think of a plank with a tree pose. 1 more breath. Then if you bent your knee, you straighten your leg. Then return to full plank, both wrists. You guys there? I think I lost you guys. So we're in our plank. Oh, shoot. We're in our plank. Sorry, something's going on with my computer. Hold your plank. Sorry about that, guys. My computer's going nuts. All right, so hold your plank. We're gonna do the other side. Sorry about that. So we're gonna step the left arm slightly forward and to the left, roll onto the outer edge of left foot or drop your left knee, reaching your right arm up. Lengthen both sides of the waist. Look up toward your right wrist. You can stay here or bring the right sole of the foot to the left inner thigh, let your right knee go up. Breathe. So we're just gonna hold. Keep drawing the shoulders away from your ears. Another breath cycle. Good, now straighten the right leg out if you bent it. Now we return to full plank, wrists underneath the shoulders. Hold, push away from gravity, pull the belly in. Exhale, tippy toes, slow lower chaturanga, shoulders back, elbows in, neck is long. Inhale, thread your heart between your shoulders in cobra. So as we repeat the vinyasa, the flow sequence, our back becomes a little more supple. It's a little easier to move through these guys, but we do build up a sweat. Then tuck your toes, hips up, heels back, downward facing dog. Seat is back and up, chest is toward your thighs, collarbones broaden, connect to your breath. All right, so we got that same sequence, other side. We're gonna exhale, big step forward, left foot, toes in line with the fingers. You're in your low lunge. Draw the left hip back, right hip forward, inhale, the spine and the arms come up to high lunge. Plug your shoulders in, lift your chest and lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands in prayer. You're either gonna stay upright and then add a twist, or you're just gonna stay upright the whole time. So we exhale, twist to the left, you can stay upright. If you wanna go a little deeper, left hand to the left thigh, get the right tricep to the outside of the left thigh, go back to praying hands. Draw the left hip back, the right hip forward, looking to your left, or if you're in the low version, look back.
Stay with me here, another couple breath cycles. You're gonna be a little bit unstable. Those of us who went down into the fuller twist, we're gonna stay in the rotation. We're gonna inhale, come up in a twisted lunge. Next in-breath, spine and arms go back to center. Exhale, you're gonna go ahead, frame the front foot. Here we go for that little sequence. We're gonna inhale, straighten out the left leg. Good, draw the left hip back. Now we're gonna exhale, bend the right knee, dropping their knee directly underneath the right hip. That left leg's gonna get a little more and more exhausted every time. Now we're gonna exhale, bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Let's do that again. Inhale, straighten out the left leg, pull the belly in. Exhale, drop the right knee underneath the right hip, shift your weight back. Next exhale, bend the left knee, straighten out the right leg. One more time. Inhale, straighten out the left leg, draw the spine forward. Now exhale, bend the right knee, drop it underneath your right hip. Good. Now exhale, bend the left knee. Plant your palms, inhale, plank. Push away from gravity here, hold your plank. So now we're gonna do the same thing we did before, opposite side leads. Step your left hand slightly forward and to the left. Roll into your side plank with the knee, left knee down or both legs straight. Breathe. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Good, looks good, guys. Lengthen. Try to hold the plank steady here. No lifting the leg, just kind of be present here. Look up toward that right wrist. Take another breath cycle. Now bring both hands down to full plank. So here's where I'm gonna get a little mean like I do in some of my classes. So you go from plank, exhale, tippy toes. We're gonna go chaturanga to hold chaturanga. Hold it for 3. Knees can come down, 2, 1. Push up to plank. Now we're gonna step the right arm slightly forward and to the right. Roll onto the outer edge of right foot or drop your right knee underneath the hip. Lift your left arm up. Lengthen both sides of the waist. Connect to your breath. Look up toward that left wrist. Try to find stillness. Your body's gonna wobble and shake. Mine is as well. What we try to do is keep our mind steady. One more breath. Now exhale, return to full plank, wrists underneath the shoulders. Here we go, we got chaturanga to push up. So we exhale, rock forward, tippy toes, chaturanga, hold for 3, shoulders back, elbows in, 2, 1. Inhale, push up. Nice, exhale, downward dog. Seat is back and up, chest is toward the thighs, collarbones broaden and fully connect to your breath. Inhale and exhale. Now root the left foot into the earth. Inhale, the right leg rises behind you for 3-legged dog. Exhale, open up the right hip, spiraling the left rib cage to the right. Bend your right knee, flex your right foot. So right leg is up. So we're in 3-legged dog. Right leg is up, opening up your hip. Yep. There you go. Now exhale, take a big step forward, right foot, toes in line with the fingers. We're gonna shimmy the left leg back. And we're gonna bring the left quadricep down. If you're on the knee, tuck the toes. If you're on the quad, point the toes. Draw the right hip back, the left hip forward, both hands to your right quadricep as you bring your spine up. So this one's called crescent lunge. Draw your inner thighs toward one another. Push your hands into the quad to open your chest up. We're gonna try to make it a little tougher. We're gonna keep the left hand to the quad. We're gonna reach the right arm up, lift the chest a little higher, then take your right hand to the back of the head. Now we're gonna inhale, lift the left arm up. Bend the left elbow, left hand to the back of the head. Can you go ahead, cradle your head, keep drawing the pelvis forward, right hip back, left hip forward, and hold in a spinal extension. Breathe. Draw the shoulders down the spine. Find your balance. Keep your eyes on the ceiling. Another 2 breaths. Feel a stretch along the front of the body. Good, now we inhale, stack the spine. Exhale, sweep the arms down to frame the front foot. We're gonna go ahead, stay low. Take both hands to the inside of your right foot. Hug your right knee in towards your right tricep. Draw the right hip back. Now we're gonna lift the right toes up. We're gonna open the right knee up to the right. Draw the left hip forward. You may be able to shimmy your left leg back a little deeper. You can stay with your hands to the ground, or if you're a little more flexible, forearms down to the ground. Draw that right hip back, left hip forward. Keep even weight in both sides of the body. So that's the challenge here. The right leg tries to tip us over to the right. So what we're doing is firing into our bellies and obliques and pressing into our elbows so that we can find stability. Breathe. Keep lengthening the neck. So I want you to picture that you can really open up that right hip. Draw the right buttock back, get some space. Another 2 or 3 breath cycles. Just keep pulling the belly in. So we're going from flow, movement, 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 to trying to keep the body still, keeping the mind focused on the moving breath. Good. Now we're going to place the hands down, wrists underneath the shoulders. Then hug the right knee in toward your right tricep. Now take your right hand to the outside of the right foot. Walk your right foot 1/2 inch to the left. Tuck your left toes to protect your left knee. Straighten out the right leg. Flex your right foot and hinge from the hips and fold. So you're going to get the big hamstring stretch. So you can stay here. There are a couple of options for your hands. Wrists underneath the shoulders. Or you can walk your arms way forward and fold over your right leg. Or those of you who are a little more flexible, walk your wrists underneath your shoulders, straighten out the left leg and come into a full split. So those are different options depending on your body. So I want everybody to be breathing steadily. Feel the belly of that right hamstring. Your right leg may be shaking. Okay, that's the stretch. Try to relax the shoulders. Try to keep the abdomen engaged. Relax everything that doesn't need to be working. So right now, the shoulders don't need to be working. All we want to do is focus the breath into that right hamstring. One more breath. Good. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and walk the fingertips forward, bend the right knee, tuck the left toes, lift up off the left knee. Plant your palms. That right leg is going to feel a lot heavier than the left. So you're going to exhale, sweep back, and just hold here and plank. Feel the right leg, feel the left leg. Good. Now exhale, hips up, heels back, down dog. Plant your feet and feel the difference right side, left side as you stretch here in dog. Walk the dog a little bit, bending one knee, straightening the other. Just kind of pedal it out, owning up the space we created in our body. Good. Now we're going to sink both heels, full down dog, root the right foot into the earth. Inhale, the left leg rises up behind you. Draw the chest toward your right thigh. Then exhale, open up the left hip, spiraling the right rib cage to the left. Bend the knee, flex the foot, hold here. Feel that right buttock work, both hands evenly into the earth. Good. Now we're going to exhale, big step forward, left foot, toes in line with the fingers. Shimmy that right leg back, bringing the quadricep down. If you're on the knee, you tuck the toes to protect the knee. If you're on the quad, you can go ahead and point your toes. Now take both hands to the left quadricep. Push into the quadricep, draw your left hip back, right hip forward, open up through the chest. So for me, when I do, when I do these asymmetrical poses, I can definitely feel a difference. One side's more mobile than the other. So you may feel that in your own body. That's totally normal. Now we're going to try to make it a little bigger. Inhale, the left arm rises. And then bend your left elbow, place your hand to the back of the head, hold your own head. Now add the right arm, lift up, reach back, then place the hands to the back of the head, cradle your own head, lift your chest up toward the ceiling, try to find your balance. Inner thighs drawn toward one another, open up. Breathe, another couple breaths. This is nice for that right hip flexor here. That front of the right hip is gonna get a great big stretch. Usually that's pretty tight if we sit a lot, at the computer or anything like that. Good, now we're going to keep the hands behind the head. Inhale, stack the spine. Then exhale, release the hands down to the inside of your left foot. Hug the left knee in towards your tricep. Maybe you can shimmy that right leg back a little deeper. Draw the chest forward, shoulders back. You're going to lift your left toes up, open your left knee out. And then maybe you stay upright or you come down onto your forearms, elbows. Draw the left hip back, the right hip forward. Good. Looks good. Connect to your breath. So again, we're trying to be in that zone where our body got used to flowing. Now the body's got to get used to stillness and the mind's got to focus on the flow of the breath. So these are nice big stretches that release tight muscle bands, get into the connective tissue, the fascia. Keep drawing the left hip back, right hip forward. Feel the stretch in that external left hip. Keep pulling your belly in, push into the mat. Think about like a plank, what we would do in a plank, really push away from the earth. Breathe. About another breath or two.
Good. Now we're going to place the palms on the mat. Lift your chest and then hug the left knee in towards you. Now you're going to take the left hand to the outside of the left foot, walk the left foot into the right about 1/2 inch, tuck your right toes to protect your right knee, straighten out your left leg, flex your left foot, and fold your chest over your left thigh. Your fingertips can be right wrists underneath the shoulders, or you can walk your hands forward and hinge, resting your chest on your left thigh. Or if you wanted to go to full splits, you just straighten out both legs and drop into your full splits. Breathe. Keep flexing the front leg or the front foot. Kind of hard to flex the leg. Draw the shoulders back and lengthen your spine. Just a couple more breaths here. Keep drawing that left hip back and the right hip forward. Good. Now from here, we're going to go ahead, exhale, bend the left knee, shift the weight forward, plant your palms, lift up off the right knee, nice strong low lunge. And then this time we exhale right to downward dog. Lift your hips up. Send the seat back and up and the chest toward the thighs. Allow the collarbones to broaden and really connect to your breath. Now walk the dog once again. You created space in the hips and you created space in the hamstrings. Kind of move through that space. Good. Now we're going to sink those heels, lengthen the spine. Now inhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, bring the knees down to the ground. Cross your ankles behind you. Roll over your crossed ankles. Scooch forward a little bit so you've got mat space behind you. Let's bring the feet about hip width, heels toward the buttocks. So I'm about maybe 6 to 8 inches away from my buttocks with my heels. Lift the chest up nice and tall. Now from here, rock back a little bit onto your sacrum, the flat shelf at the base of the spine. Lift the heels up, lift the balls of the feet up, lift the toes up. Keep your chest tall and bring the calves to parallel. Transfer your hands to your hamstrings. So that's option 1. Keep your chin parallel to the mat. Option 2 is to straighten your legs up and hold them. You can always walk up to your ankles, sit up nice and tall. Option 3 is catch your big toes and then straighten or point the toes and lift up nice and tall. Notice I'm trying to draw my shoulders back. Breathe. Keep gazing in one fixed point. Keep lengthening through the spine. Looks good, guys. Keep opening up that chest. I know this is not the pose everyone loves. I hear you, but it's so good for our bellies and backs. Good, now we're going to slowly deconstruct the pose. If your hands are at your feet or calves, walk to your hamstrings. If your knees are straight, you're going to bend your knees and flex your feet. Now we're going to open the legs wider than hip width. We're going to draw the chest forward. You can hold on to the hamstrings, ankles, or catch the outer edges of your feet. Sit up tall, draw the knees towards your underarms, and do a seated upright happy baby. Nice tall spine. So any kind of squat like this, whether we're sitting on our buttocks or whether we're on our back or on our feet, really good for the back. So you're going to hold here. You're going to be shaking. I'm shaking with you. Breathe. Another breath or 2. Keep lifting the chest. Now to protect the neck, you're going to keep the chest open, but you're going to look into your chest. Drop the chin. We're going to roll onto our backs and land in full happy baby. So you just drop back, lengthen your tailbone, heels up toward the ceiling. Draw the knees toward your underarms. Keep lengthening the tailbone away. So this helps to stretch out your hips, your hamstrings, and your back. Connect to your breath. We are not done yet. Another couple breaths here in happy baby. Breathe. Good. Now we're going to go ahead, take your hands either to your hamstrings and into your calves or catch the arches of your feet or soles of your feet. Open your legs out to splits. Flex your feet. So straighten those legs out to V splits. Lengthen the tailbone away from you. Breathe. Don't worry about how far you go in splits. Maybe close your eyes, ignore the visual, and go into the sensation. So that what I want you to feel is your skull touch the ground, your shoulders touch the ground, your lower back touches the ground, and your buttocks extends away from you. You feel the stretch along the hamstrings, the calves, and flex your feet so it's like you're aiming your toes toward your shins. Feel the stretch in the lower body. The belly is engaging, pulling in to stabilize your back. Another breath here.
Good. Now we're going to inhale, draw those inner thighs together, ankles over the hips, flex your feet. For a moment, hands are down on the earth, pull your belly in. Exhale. Now we're going to exhale, curl the upper body up, reach your arms on either side of your hips parallel to the earth. Keep the feet flexed. We're going to keep the left leg up. We're going to lower the right leg to hover off the ground, curl up a little higher. Pull the belly in. Good. Hold here. Kind of how yogis do core work. It's a little different from the Pilates that I teach as well. And now we're going to switch it. Left leg to hover, right leg up, ankle over the hip. When your right leg comes up, can you curl up a little higher? Breathe. Feel that mid-belly burn. Now we switch it again. Left leg up, right leg hovers. Keep those feet flexed. Lengthen the back of the neck. Draw the shoulders down the spine. And switch it again. When that right leg gets closer towards you, can you curl up a little higher to meet it a little bit? We got one more. Left leg up, right leg lowers to hover. Should be getting shaky. And last time, right leg up, left leg lowers to hover. Then lift your left leg up and bring your knees into your chest as you release your shoulders, neck, and head. Hold on to your hamstrings or shins. Rock a little bit left and right. Release some tension here. All right, so now I'm going to bring into one of my favorite kind of cooling down sequences. So we're going to go ahead, bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Bring those heels toward your buttocks. If you have long arms, you can typically touch your heels. If not, don't worry about it. I just have monkey arms. So if you can touch your heels or maybe even your ankles. Look at your knees without lifting your head. Make sure they're hip width and parallel. Press the shoulders back and fingers down. We're going to inhale, tilt the tailbone up to imprint the low back. Exhale, squeeze the buttocks, slowly peel the lower back up, the middle back up, and the upper back up. So you're in your bridge. Maybe see if you can touch your heels here. Don't worry about lifting your head. Just keep your head down and keep your nose aiming toward the ceiling so you're protecting your neck. Pull the belly in, draw the tailbone forward, breathe. Keep those arms nice and strong on the earth. You can stay here with your arms or interlace your fingers beneath you and then tuck your shoulders underneath you to lift your chest. So you want to get those arms under you to give you more lift. Yeah, that free pinky there, you can tuck it in front of the other pinky so it gets out of your way. Now lift up onto the balls of the feet and maybe walk the feet a little closer towards you and lift your hips up a little higher. Yeah, it's a nice way to deepen your bridge. Make sure the knees are still tracking in line with the hips. So what I do is I pretend I'm squeezing a yoga block between my thighs. So I don't bring my inner thighs together, but I imagine I'm squeezing something so I can keep them on track. Another couple of breaths here. Keep pressing into the shoulders. Open up the chest, lift the hips, engage the buttocks. So this works, stretches the front into the belly and chest, but it works the quads. It also works the buttocks, hamstrings, and back. And the way we are right now, shoulders. Good. Now we're going to untuck the shoulders, undo the hands, place your palms down on the mat, then slowly roll down the upper back and pause. Tilt your tailbone up, pull the belly and fire into your buttocks. Then lower down the middle back so your low back hasn't touched the ground yet. You're going to pause. Then you're going to roll down the lower back, hips, buttocks, and once again bring the legs this time into tabletop, flexing your feet, knees over the hips, heels slightly higher than the knees. Feel your belly kick in. Now, we're going to extend the left leg all the way down to the ground and inhale, bring the right knee in towards you. Hold on to the right hamstring or shin. I'm flexing both feet, so I'm protecting my right knee and the left foot flexed, so I send a lot of energy through the back of my leg. Now, we're going to inhale, extend the right leg straight up. You can hold on to your right hamstring. If you have the mobility, hold on to your right calf, but keep the shoulders, neck, and head down. And if you have a little more mobility, catch your right big toe. And go ahead and take your left hand, place it on your left quad. So that's going to anchor your left leg down. Draw the right heel away from you, toes towards you. Your leg might be a little shaky. That's fine. Just breathe. Keep lengthening your right buttock away. Now I'd like you to inhale, open your right leg halfway to the right. Keep your left side anchored. Feel the left obliques kick in. You can even place your hands to the left obliques there, the left side of your belly, and you'll feel them working. I want you to go to that stabilization point where your body feels like it's about to tip to the right. You anchor down through the left. Good. Keep that energy, holding on to that right hamstring, calf, or foot. Open the right leg to the right. Flex your right foot, turn your head to your left. The left hand stays at that hip point to help you anchor down. So you should feel a stretch right hamstring, a little bit into the inner thigh. If you want to make it deeper, you just pull your leg a little closer toward your right shoulder, yet still lengthen the right buttock away. Another breath here. Good, then we're going to exhale, pull the belly in. Then inhale, bring the head and the right leg back to center. Now we're going to take the left hand either to the right outer thigh, calf, or catch your right big toe. Open your right arm out to T, keep your right shoulder down, lengthen your right buttock away, roll onto the left outer hip and cross the right leg over to the left as you turn your head to the right. It's a nice IT band stretch. Lengthen your right buttock away. So I always cue, make sure your right shoulder stays down so you protect your low back. If your right shoulder is lifting, your low back is in a precarious position because you're not stable. So if you feel like your shoulder's lifting, back out of the twist a little bit, maybe an inch or so back, so that you don't run the risk of hurting your back. Never want to leave yoga feeling worse than you walked in. You want to feel better. One more breath. Then we exhale to pull the belly in and inhale, bring the head and leg back to center. Now take both hands to that right calf, hamstring, or maybe the foot. Draw that right leg a little closer toward you as your body allows. So use the exhalations to help you draw the leg closer. The inhalations, you just pause and hang out in the stretch. So you're not going to find more space on an in-breath. You're only going to find more space on the out-breath because your belly gets out of the way. Good. Now on the next in-breath, bring the ankle directly over the hips, open the arms out to T, and then slowly exhale. Let your right leg float down like a feather, really slowly. And then once it lands, let it drop. You're going to feel the whole right side of your body much more relaxed than the left. If you place your hands on your hip points, your right hip will be lower. And if you measure your legs, your right leg will be just a little longer. Your right shoulder will also feel heavier. So we're going to go ahead, even ourselves out. Let's bring the soles of the feet to the earth. Then bring the legs to tabletop again. Heels slightly higher than the knees. Feel your belly kick in. So it's always nice to check in and feel how just this simple thing is going to get our abdominals engaged. Now we're going to bring the left knee in as we straighten the right leg down on the ground. Hold on to your left hamstring or shin and flex your feet. Lengthen your left buttock away. Keep the belly pulling in. Now we're going to transfer the hands to the hamstring as we inhale, lengthen the left leg up. You can hold on to the hamstring, the left calf, or catch your left big toe, and then take your right hand to your right quadricep and press down. You're going to flex your left foot, drawing the toes toward you. That's going to increase the stretch in the belly of the hamstring. Now, we're going to keep the right side anchored onto the mat. We're only going to open the left leg halfway out to the left, so we get to that tipping point. Once you get to that tipping point, maybe place your hands on your right hand on your obliques so you feel the belly work. If you're like me and you're a little quad happy, that right quad may really kick in. You might want to exhale and press the buttock down. So my quad takes over before my glutes do. So I got to quiet that quad down. So what you do is just press the butt down and release the breath so that you can relax your quad. Keep the right shoulder and buttock anchored. Exhale, open your left leg all the way to the left. Turn your head to the right. Feel that right side grow heavy. Lengthen your left buttock away and gently pull on the left leg if you want more stretch. If you've reached your max, you don't have to do anything else. You just hang out there and feel the stretch. So I'm continuing to anchor my right side down because I know sometimes it tries to roll up on this. Good. Now we're going to exhale, pull the belly in, and then inhale, bring the head and the left leg to center. And we're going to take the right hand to the outer thigh, calf, or catch your left big toe. Open your left arm out to T. Make sure the shoulder's down on the ground. Then we're going to exhale, roll onto that right outer hip. Bring the left leg across with us and turn your head to the left. Make sure that your left shoulder stays down. And you don't have to go all the way down to the ground. Just want to go so you can feel that left buttock lengthen and the left IT band get a stretch. Keep turning your head to the left and check in with that left shoulder. And if you wanted more stretch, you just take that left leg closer to that right shoulder. Breathe. Try to find some relaxation in this pose. So there's going to be sensation, but we also can relax the shoulders, the face. We got to keep the feet active. but the upper body can kind of quiet here. Good, one more breath. Now we're going to exhale, pull the belly in. Inhale, roll back to center. Now take both hands to the left hamstring, calf, or foot. And let's see if we can get a little more stretch. So we want to walk out even on both sides. So we're going to exhale to keep drawing the left leg closer toward us. Lengthen the left buttock away. Another couple of breaths here. Try to find more and more length. Relax your shoulders to the best of your ability. Then on the next in-breath, just line the ankle up over the hip. Feel the belly kick in. Arms out to T. Quiet the upper body and slowly let your left leg float down like a feather to the ground. Once the left leg lands, let it get heavy. Now go ahead and measure your legs. They should be the same length again. Take your hands to your hips. They should be on the same plane. And now check in with your shoulders and rib cage. They should be relaxed and on the same level. Now let's go ahead one last little bit here. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Let the knees open out as you bring the soles of the feet together. Now place your hands on your inner thighs and gently press the inner thighs down. Maybe you close your eyes here, start to go inward, preparing for corpse pose, Shavasana. So we want to start to quiet down. Feel the back of the head drop into the mat and feel the weight of your eyes. So feel almost like the eyeballs just drop into the eye sockets. Let your jaws relax. So keeping your mouth closed, just let the lower jaw drop a little bit and let the tongue rest in the lower jaw. Relax the shoulder blades into the mat. Just scan your back. Identify the places in your back where you're touching the ground and then the places in your back where you're not touching the ground. Then identify your sacrum, buttocks. Relax the buttock muscles. Relax the inner thighs. Relax the calves. And then just feel where your feet touch one another. And then feel where the outer edges of your feet touch the mat. And now with your eyes closed, start to pay attention to your breath. So you'll notice by this time in the practice, the breath is really slow and deep, and we're not really efforting with it. It's just our natural breathing pattern. Notice how relaxing that can be. Now we're going to straighten the legs toward the corners of the mat. Let your feet drop out. So let those legs go straight. Then release the arms, palms up on either side of your hips, and let your arms just slide a little bit away from you so the shoulders lie flush. You may need to readjust your shoulders, especially if your bare shoulders are on the mat. They can get a little sticky. Let your body really drop now. Now there's nothing working. Nothing is active. Everything is relaxing. And if and when your mind starts to wander, like it starts to think about what you have to do next or what you want to do, just bring it back to noticing your breathing. And if it's really challenging to keep the mind quiet, I'll just count how long it takes me to inhale, and then I count how long it takes me to exhale. It's a little trick I use when I know I need to be present in Shavasana, but I know my mind is running. I'll just count it.
So I want you to take a big, deep in breath. Feel your belly, rib cage, and chest expand. And then a big, complete, relaxing out breath. Now we'll go ahead, bring the feet onto the mat once again, bending your knees. Feel the soles of the feet touch the ground. Take a moment there. Maybe you open your eyes. Then carefully bring the right knee into the chest. Hold on to the right hamstring or shin. Flex your foot. And then bring the left knee into the chest. Hold on to the left hamstring or shin. And flex your foot. Give yourself a little stretch. So as your knees come towards your chest, draw the tailbone away and press the shoulders back. And then exhale, add curling the upper body up, nose toward to or between the knees. You can get your nose between your knees, reach for your feet. Catch the outer edges of the feet, curl up a little higher so you stretch the back of the neck and the mid-back. And then a couple of choices. You can either roll onto your right side in a fetal position, then sit up, or just roll right on up to a seat. Whatever feels better for you. Good, we're gonna come into a cross-legged seat once again. Rooting your seat, resting your hands on your lap, close your eyes, and once again, just breathe. So usually at the end of practice, there's a mixture, especially when you do some vinyasa throughout or that flow, there's a mixture of being tired, but also relaxed, feeling like your muscles worked, but they don't feel like they overworked. Now let's take a moment, bring the palms together in prayer. Bow the chin towards your chest and take a moment to practice gratitude. So being grateful for someone and something this evening. Grateful for each and every one of you. Grateful to see your faces and share this practice with you. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me pause that recording.